Hey guys, it's Sarah, and we're coming in for our She's Here video. Ooh, hold on. Look. There she is. It's Ediee Ruth. Oh, she smiled for you. That was so sweet. You smile for everybody. Huh? I originally thought, oh, my hair. Oh, look at the gray. That I would come to you in a very different light with makeup. Oh no, she's gonna pout. She's hungry, so, or she should be. I'm trying to rouse her up. She can tell I'm doing a really great job. I really thought that I would do this video with a full face of makeup and fixed hair, but it's not gonna happen. This is our first day alone. Oz went to school today, just for a few hours. And Ed went back to work today. But I just wanted to come in really quickly and tell you that she was here and discuss her very fast birth story. If you guys follow me on any social media, Facebook or Instagram, you've probably seen several pictures of her. She was a whopping 7 pounds 4 ounces, 19.5 inches long. She showed up on Wednesday, December the 27th at 12:04 a.m. So we feel really blessed. Oz loves her. And, you know, he's done so good. I could cry talking about it, actually. But, you know, as anything else, I assume that there will be I'm expecting there to be a pretty big adjustment period for him. But he loves her, and he talks about her, and he talks about how much he loves her. And it's so funny because he is a very loving, feely, touchy kid. And he just talks a lot about how much he loves us just in general. It is not, I mean, several times within an hour, he is saying things like, I love you, Mama, I love Daddy, I love you both, we love each other, I love baby sister, like, and it has really increased, and I don't know if it's just because of the changes. I mean, he talk like that a lot anyways, but it's really, tomorrow will be my first full day as a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids. I'm a little anxious about it. I actually think Oz is going to do great. And, you know, for the first couple weeks, we're not planning on getting out anyways. And, you know, they're not even released to drive yet. So, and it's flu season and it's super cold here. So, that will be an adjustment because Oz likes to go. But I'm hoping we're not really going to have any routine, other than just being in survival mode. So, I don't know. The last 2 weeks, Ed has been home a majority of the time. So, he is really glued to Daddy. And so, I am anxious about that. He does not want to snuggle with Mommy. He only wants Daddy. And, I mean, even little things like going to the potty. He doesn't want me. He wants Daddy. So, I don't know when it's not a choice, if he will just be upset or if he will just go along with it. I don't know. But anyways, I appreciate all the prayers and the good vibes and the thoughts. We are so thankful that she is here and that she is healthy. And we're really blessed. She is, you know, she originally was 7'4". We came home on Thursday. We went back to the doctor on Friday. She was down to 6'8". And, you know, that's 10% of her weight. We saw a new pediatrician at our old pediatrician's office, so he had some concerns about that. He sent us home with formula. We have not used that. She is breastfeeding, and you guys know what a prayer that has been. We still have some trouble with latching, and I don't know if it has seemed to increase now that my milk is in. I don't know if it's me, and I don't know if it's my boobs, or if it's her and just getting adjusted to the new. I don't know if it's the flow. I don't know if it's the size of the nipple. I don't know. We eventually get it. This week, especially, I feel like has been really rough. I realize she's only a week old. But I mean, like, starting like Monday, Tuesday, I feel like we started really having some issues with it. So, sorry. Anyways, she eventually gets it and latches on, but there's several bouts of frustration. Hold on, I'm going to try to stretch her out because I really need her to wake up. Wake up, Ediee. Anyways, I just really quickly wanted to talk about, so last Tuesday night, which would have been December the 26th, Oz and I, Tuesday, cleaned up all the Christmas decorations. We took everything down. I put it in the hallway for Ed to take out when he came home. Oh, sorry, girl. And we spent our morning doing that. And then we went to Martin because the kids were out of school, and we hung out there for a while. And then after work, I had asked Ed to just come by Brianna's house and eat supper and play games. So we did that. And about 8:30, I had like 2 contractions between 8 and 8:30 that weren't like timeable or measurable or just some pains. They were kind of uncomfortable, but nothing, that was just kind of it. And I had some contractions the night before on and off in my sleep. So it would have been Christmas Day evening. But anyway, but I hadn't had any more. And then about 8:30, we decided to go home. So Faith, my cousin Faith, who was supposed to have Oz originally, I should do this so you can see her. I had texted her earlier that day, and I texted Maddie, just being like, hey, don't forget to have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, because I had one on Wednesday. And I'm like, hey, just making sure you guys are still up to watch Oz for the doctor's appointment. Well, I never heard back from Faith, but I eventually heard back from Maddie, and Maddie's like, actually when I got in the car, I texted Maddie. She texted me back. She goes, well, Owen and Peyton have fever. And she said, but I can still come and watch him there if you don't mind. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll find somebody. We'll do something. This is all by voice text, by the way. Sorry, girl. So I text my brother, and I'm like, hey, in the event that he was going to be off tomorrow, I'm like, that we go to I said, for Oz's doctor appointment, I said, or if we go into labor tonight, I was like, do you think that you could watch Oz tomorrow? And he was like, yes. And I'm like, okay, awesome. So this is at 8:30. So on the ride home, between 8:30 and 9, I started having a few more contractions, nothing major. But by the time I walked in the door, so it takes us like 15 minutes to get home, but from Brianna's house. By the time I walked in the door, I was starting to have them pretty strong again. And I was like, to the point where I was like leaning over with the contractions because they were pretty painful. So Ed comes in like 10 minutes later, so it's like 9:10, and I say, hey, listen, I'm having like timeable contractions. It is really possible I'm going to need to go to the hospital. And he's like, okay. So he starts like loading up the shed with all the Christmas stuff and like packing a hospital bag just in case we decide to go. Well, at 9:30, I say, I think I'm really going to have to go to the hospital. These are like 3 to 5 minutes apart, and they're pretty strong. But I'm going to take a shower, which he makes so much fun of me for, because at this point I said I need to shave my lady parts and my legs. But when I get in the shower, I don't do that because the contractions are pretty strong. So, I asked if he wants to take a shower. He's like, no, I think we probably need to go to the hospital. So I get in the shower. I get out of the shower. I did not shave anything because I was in quite a bit of pain. And I blow dry my hair. At somewhere in between there, I text my parents. I text Brianna, and I text my brother, who didn't respond. But then I finally called my brother. And I'm like, hey, we're going to go to the hospital. I'm going to drop my Oz off. He was already asleep at this point. Not Oz, but my brother. So about 10:15, a little after 10, we dropped my kid off at my brother's house. And then Oz was not asleep, and he was pretty upset when we went to drop him off. I knew he'd be fine, but he was tired, and it was scary, and again, I was bending over every like 3 minutes to breathe through a contraction. So we get to the house. I mean, we drive to the hospital. I remember telling Ed that I did not know if I could sit still in the seat of the car. We get to the hospital. They let us in. You know, they have to like buzz you in to the maternity ward. And I'm like smiling. I'm like, hey, I've got these contractions. They're 3 to 5 minutes apart. You know, they started about 9:30. And she was like, okay. And so she put me in observation room. She made me pee in a cup. And she put me on a bed to monitor the baby and to check me. Well, she went to check me. And she says, oh my, you're at a 9. And you have a bag of bulging water. She said, I'm the only nurse here, so I'm going to go make some phone calls. I'm the only one here. I'm going to make some phone calls, and I will be right back. And I knew at that point they were not going to give me medication, and I started to freak out. Not really, but I knew that it was going to go really, really quick. Well, Ed had gone by the hospital earlier that day to register me because we thought we'd already done it. Turns out we hadn't, but it had not gone into the system yet. And so that nurse was having to register me and give me like my rights and read me stuff, and I was having to sign things, all while being in like labor. And matter of fact, when we got to the hospital and they put me in the observation room, I had told my husband to call my parents back and tell them to wait about coming in case they didn't keep me, which is a good thing they came on to Martin because otherwise they probably would have missed the birth. So he called me back and told them they were actually at the hospital at this point. And that nurse was cracking me up. She's like, I had no idea. She's like, you were just smiling. You did not look like somebody who was in full-blown labor. So they put me in the delivery room. I'm signing all the papers. We're trying to get this blood work done. The lady who came in to do the lab couldn't get my veins. Like, I've never had trouble. Nobody ever has trouble with any of my veins. And so they start all that. And then the midwife comes in. Jamie comes in. She breaks my water and immediately is like, okay, it's time to push. So we start to push. I push twice. Jamie turns around to grab something from behind her. I don't know what she was grabbing. I think Brianna finally decided it was something to cut me. And when she went to grab me, the head popped out. And like, everybody was like, oh! And then one more push and she was here. So it was a very quick labor. We are so blessed. It was all natural, no drugs, no nothing. It's a little unbelievable. Everybody keeps acting like I'm some superhero for having this baby naturally, and I keep telling them that if I had the choice, I would totally choose medication again. I tore. She came very quickly. I tore a lot. I have a lot of stitches from past your lady parts all the way from one end to the other. Into this is a lot of TMI, but even into like the clitoral area, down. They couldn't get the bleeding stopped, and so they were having to stitch me up in some other places too. But overall, I mean, and it was really nice being able to get up like 5 or 10 minutes after she stitched me up. I was able to get up and take a shower. That was nice. And I will tell you that emotionally, I have been in a different place, and I don't know if it's because it was my second kid or if it's because I didn't have medication, didn't have an epidural in my system. I don't know. But we're very blessed. We're so thankful she's here, and I just wanted to share my birth story. I will come back with pictures, and I will come back with goals for 2018 and how I feel about my body now and weight and all that. We're going to get back on the wagon shortly, just making sure breastfeeding remains established, and I will see you guys later. Love you. Thanks for everything. Bye.